Welcome back to Real Nigga Vlog number 38. Kind of beautiful spot on campus, bro. I love this area. This would be dope if you were like a parkour athlete. This entire area is like pure athleticism and smoothness. So you just gotta be elite, you know? On this fine evening, I'll just recap my day. I actually made it to class, contrary to popular belief. And then I figured out we had Zoom class. That shit sucks. Then I skipped the second class because what the fuck is that? Actually, I have dance class in 15 minutes, so I thought, squeeze this video in here. But regardless, damn, this is just so vibey. Like, dude, the roofs are just lit. Nobody up here is bothering me. There's nobody pulling up. I'm not in some, hot hallway that's echoing. I'm overlooking the vibes, and they are indeed immaculate. I worked with a coworker today, figuring out, okay, so I'm gonna talk to you like you're a fellow software engineer. So essentially, right, we're doing some work converting the cesium work. So essentially, we have a project within cesium that we're trying to convert into, some sort of alternative means besides hosting it on Cesium's website. It's a Cesium sandbox. And essentially, it's shit because, the version control is practically non-existent on Cesium because we have these websites. And if you're collaborating with other people, you basically have to keep like a document of just like these URL links as opposed to a version control like GitHub, for example, or Git. If you're following, you're following. If you're not following, you're fucking lost. But anyway, we're trying to convert it to something that allows us to collaborate at the same time and have still version control. So there's this thing called I forget the fucking name low-key already, but we're using it. It's like an online text-based IDE and able to host websites essentially. And we're running it using HTML, JavaScript, CSS, and we're encountering some problems. To name a few actually. Essentially, the first one is the actual callbacks to specific things within code. So things that reference the original Cesium sandbox. So it'd be like sandbox dot and then the function that we want to call. So it'd be like sandbox dot clipping polygons. Sandbox dot clipping polygons doesn't work because sandbox doesn't exist within our code infrastructure. The reason it works within the Cesium sandbox website is because it's contained. It's automatically imported when you're using the website, as opposed to when you're creating a version outside of that. You have to create your own option or use an alternative, or find a way to import that and set it up in the same way that Cesium has it set up. So we're collaborating properly with all the functions working. Two, right where I said collaborating. The collaborating is cool and all, but there's no version control on the website. Now, it's the exact same problem that we had before. It's just now we have, like one project, one link that we can put everything into, because we have like 17 different, iterations and features that we need to just combine into one amalgamation. And that's dope and all once you have that, but like, what if you want to tweak one thing, So in this scenario, when we're working online, we can tweak the one thing, but what if that thing was a bug? Oh shit, how do we control Z, Control C doesn't work because it automatically refreshes and automatically updates the website in real time. So it's a little bit fucked, right? Because now we're figuring like, ooh, okay, we would like to do further iteration, further development processes, but we have no version control and we really can't collaborate. So we set down a bunch of groundwork from, the initial Cesium project, and now we're kind of porting it into a way that won't take, a new developer 40 fucking weeks to like understand, oh my God, this is what we're doing. So it's kind of just like expediting that process for the people who come after us, because we are students still, we're like student workers. I'm probably doxing myself right now, but it's a cool job. I like the job. It's fucking sick. But yeah, it's super cool. And it's, the projects that we work on are super interesting. And another thing that I found is like, there's a bunch of stuff that you'll only figure out by working on the job. Like, this is the whole like experience versus degree debate. And I must say, I believe trading, or not trading, I think computer science and coding is a trade. It's 100% a trade. It's the only trade that ChatGPT could allegedly do. But to be honest with you, ask any coder who's used ChatGPT. It's like a secondary mind, which is immensely helpful. However, it's not just gonna be like, oh, like build me out this like website, and like depending on the complexity of the website, like dude, it's just not gonna work. Or you're gonna be there like you still have to put work in. So a lot of people are like, oh my god, you know, these people are replaced. It's like, nah, dude, you gotta learn how to leverage it. But regardless, that's neither here nor there. Besides the ChatGPT problem or conversation or new feature or whatever the fuck you want to call it, development, I constantly notice that, the things that I'm doing day to day, the things that I'm struggling with, isn't, how to set up an array. It's not, oh, what's the proper, way to structure this back end data structure so we can handle, influx of server, users at once, and then how do we dial that process back and keep it dynamic. It's not, those random processes like that. It's like you make one algorithm, or maybe two, depending on the project. It depends on the context of the project. If you're working in a game development and you're trying to implement, some physics system from the ground up, dude, that's gonna be crazy, right? That's insane. But you got a model to work off of. You got physics. But if you have like a specific algorithm and you're trying to make it the most optimized possible, it's gonna take a while, And realistically, lead code is only gonna get you so far before you start to realize, like, oh my god, lead code problems, nigga, like, they still don't teach me how to use GitHub. Like, why the fuck is GitHub not working with this specific third-party application? All CompSci is just a bunch of troubleshooting. You're troubleshooting 24/7. You're putting out fires and troubleshooting. It's low-key lit, I'm not gonna lie. It's low-key lit. Because it really puts your brain to work. That's something I noticed that, like, I was only at work for maybe like 2 or 3 hours, and once you're coding with like somebody else and you're like trying to solve a problem together, the amount of progress that you guys can get done, it's not just like, oh, ChatGPT is 2 minds. It's like 1.5 if you're working by yourself with ChatGPT. If you're working with somebody else and you have ChatGPT, dude, that's maximum efficiency. Unless you guys are both idiots. I'm the idiot. I'd say he's pretty good, but he's also pretty lost. So we're both kind of like shit, And this other dude, bro, if that dude doesn't get a job at Amazon, nigga, we're all cooked. We're all cooked. Because if that, like, this dude has been like coding since he came out of his mother's womb. Like this nigga's a different level. But yeah, I don't really know. You know what I'm saying? Like, it gets to a point where a nigga's life is like, oh, dude, like, oof, career change, But I don't really want to do finance. Oh yeah, I'm a data analyst for JP Morgan. Yeah, I just do back-end data analytics, real fun stuff, I analyze trends in consumer analytics, and I optimize the web page using that, No, I actually don't optimize the web page. I actually pass it along to the IT department, and then they implement the changes using A/B testing, And it's like, dude, like, what the fuck is, like, I don't know, I kind of like working in, like, smaller teams, like a startup, quote unquote, like, atmosphere where it's like, all right, nigga, can you do this? Can you not do this? Yo, if you can't do it, you're gonna learn today, You're gonna be spending, like, 4 hours researching, and, it kind of keeps you super, like, dynamic, I think, personally. My lack of job opportunities, besides the one I have, says otherwise. But I think I'm a really, like, I have a wide berth of random information ranging from, obviously, like I highlighted, cesium, ArcGIS, technologies, creating maps, creating data overlays, all this random excess stuff, to, VR and XR technologies, hand tracking, VR whiteboards, like a bunch of random shit, dude. Like proper QA fundamentals, not creating test cases or like tool use cases that can be automated, but like, oh, like I understand how a game works a little bit. You know, I've made a couple. I've been behind like one or two, not like full scale, you know, feature complete games, but like kind of proof of concepts, and understanding how all the pieces tie together, especially with like a Unity and game engine. Um, it gives you a unique perspective to like play video games with. Because now whenever I'm playing a video game, right, I'm like, okay, I know what a rigid body is. I know what a mesh is. Like you just get to learn all this, like, oh, the texture's off. Oh, the height map or the face map, like all this extra stuff, you know. And you know, whenever I encounter a bug, I'm like, I can diagnose this, or like, if somebody wants me to play a game, like for example, I was playing Star Citizen back in the day, and there was a measurable difference in the amount of bugs I caught before I worked my job versus after I worked my job. Once I got after, I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna run into this wall for like 20 minutes because it just feels off. So, because like, there's like 17 years of gameplay experience of me just playing random video games from all different genres, to being actually behind it and having that sort of game feel aspect of everything. You know, the software component. Like, okay, the server's not responding. Okay, I know what that looks like from a player's perspective. It looks like lag. A lot of people will be like, oh no, it's laggy, and sometimes it's just your frames dropping. So a lot of people, it's like there's a large disconnect, and I don't know. I think I'm pretty good at that. Is it monetizable, nigga? I don't know. Keep it a buck with you, but it's pretty dope. I don't know. Beautiful day, great day, honestly. And yeah, that's about it. Peace.